Picture this. It's 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. You're hunched over your laptop, building yet another proposal from scratch. The coffee's gone cold, your eyes are burning, and there's that familiar knot in your stomach. Because even though this new client has almost identical needs to the last 3 clients, here you go again. Starting from zero, new proposal, new process design, new content creation, new communication flow. It's like being a chef who throws away the recipe every time they cook the same dish. You know that feeling when you get a new client and instead of breathing a sigh of relief and thinking, yes, I've got this, you roll up your sleeves with a heavy heart and think, right, here we go again. Today we're talking about how to stop recreating the wheel for every single client without sacrificing the quality, personal touch, or premium positioning that makes your work so valuable in the first place. By the end of this training, you will have a clear roadmap to build systems that work for you instead of against you, and finally start building a business instead of just running one. Now, let me first say, I've been exactly where you are right now. Back when I first started coaching and consulting, I used to treat every new client like they were the first client I ever had. I'd rebuild the entire process from the ground up, rethink every single deliverable, tweak all the messaging, rewrite the onboarding sequences, redesign the onboarding calls every single time. I generally thought I was doing the right thing. I had the belief that custom equals quality, which justified my premium rates, that bespoke means better, that if I wasn't starting fresh every time, somehow I wasn't giving my clients the attention they deserved. But what I didn't realize was that I wasn't being strategic, I was being reactive. And it was costing me far more than just my time and energy. It was costing me revenue, growth, and honestly, my sanity. I was working well over 45 hours a week, but my business looked exactly the same way it did 6 months earlier. I was busy, exhausted, and frustrated, but I wasn't building anything that would make next month easier than this month. The turning point came when my coach showed me that I was essentially offering the same core transformation to every single client, just wrapped up in a different packaging each time. Once I started to simplify and systematize, something magical happened. My clients were happier, and I finally started earning income rather than just helping my business generate revenue. So what's really going on here? Why do smart, capable business owners keep falling into this trap? Well, let's break it down, because understanding the root cause is the first step to solving it. If you're recreating the wheel for every client, there's a good chance that one or more of these deeper issues are at play. You don't have a clearly defined signature service or process, so you end up tailoring everything from scratch every time, thinking you're being helpful when really you're just being inefficient. You've confused personalization with reinvention or innovation, when really true personalization often just means listening carefully and then applying what you already know works within a proven framework. You're completely stuck in what I call delivery mode. So busy doing the work that you don't have any mental space or time to build repeatable assets, templates, or frameworks that could make future work easier. You're operating from a scarcity mindset. Deep down, you might still feel like your business needs to prove itself with every single project, so you over-deliver and over-customize to make sure that the client feels that they're getting their money's worth. You haven't clearly defined your zone of genius. So every client feels like a slightly different type of work requiring a slightly different approach. And the result of all of this, you're overwhelmed and borderline burned out. Your clients get inconsistent experiences because you're making it up as you go along. You're incredibly busy, but you're not building anything that compounds or gets easier over time. You're essentially running on a hamster wheel that gets faster every month, but never actually takes you anywhere. Okay, let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through a 5-step framework that will help you transition from chaos to clarity, from reactive to strategic. Step 1, name your signature transformation. Here's the foundational truth that changes everything. Most service businesses are not actually selling time, effort, or expertise. you're selling a transformation, a shift from a painful, frustrating point A to a better, more desirable point B. So instead of thinking in terms of tasks you perform or hours you work, start by clearly naming the specific change you help create in your clients' lives or businesses. For example, if you're a copywriter, maybe you help businesses go from having generic Me Too messaging that gets ignored to having confident, distinctive content that converts browsers into buyers. If you're a business coach, maybe you take overwhelmed entrepreneurs from feeling scattered and reactive to having a calm, structured plan they can actually follow and trust. If you're a web designer, maybe you help service providers go from having a website that is essentially a digital business card to having a conversion-focused sales machine that works 24/7. Whatever your transformation is, give it a clear, memorable name. Even if it's just your own internal use to start with, because once you've named it clearly, you can start building everything else around it. Here's your action step. Write out the specific before and after state you help create in plain language that your ideal client would use. Be specific about both the pain they're starting with and the outcome they're moving toward. Step 2, design your signature service. Once you've clearly defined the transformation you provide, now ask yourself this crucial question. What are the essential, non-negotiable steps I take clients through to get them from point A to point B? Notice I said essential, not nice to haves, not the bonus extras, not it would be cool if we did this. The core fundamental steps that create the transformation. Most transformations happen through 3 to 5 key phases. More than that, and it starts to get a little bit overwhelming. Fewer than that, and it's probably too vague. This becomes your signature service, your repeatable offer that you can refine and improve over time instead of just reinventing every single time. Think of this as your method, not your menu. You're not offering a buffet where clients can pick and choose. You're guiding them through a proven process that gets results. Here's your action step. Write down the 3 to 5 core phases or steps that you take most successful clients through, regardless of their industry or specific situation. What are the milestones they hit on their way to their transformation? Step 3. Standardize with strategic personalization. Here's where most people get stuck, and I want to address this head on. They think, but every client is different. Their industry is different. Their personality is different. Their timeline is different. Their budget is different. And yes, of course, personalities, businesses, and circumstances absolutely vary. But here's what I've learned after working with many business owners. The core journey is remarkably similar. The fundamental problems they face, the mental blocks they hit, the milestones they need to reach, these are much more universal than we think. So instead of rebuilding from scratch every time, you create strong, proven templates that you can adapt and personalize as needed. This might include standardized onboarding email sequences that set expectations and build excitement, repeatable call structures that ensure you cover all the important ground, reusable frameworks and worksheets that guide clients through key decisions, set check-in points that keep projects on track, pre-recorded video explanations or written guides for common questions, or template project timelines that you can adjust based on scope. The key insight here is that personalization happens in the application, not in the invention. You're not creating new tools every time, you're skillfully applying proven tools to each unique situation. Here's your action step. Choose one part of your current client delivery process to standardize this week. Start with something simple, like an onboarding email template or a discovery call agenda. Step 4, create a repeatable system, not just a service. This is where we're going to make the shift from running a reactive business to building a strategic one. You're not just systematizing a service, you're building an entire client acquisition and delivery system that works together seamlessly. A complete system includes your marketing system, a lead magnet that attracts your ideal clients and filters out bad fit prospects. Nurturing content educates prospects and builds trust before they're ready to buy. A clear sales process that feels consultative, not pushy. A sales system. You're going to need a compelling service description that focuses on transformation, not tasks. Social proof and case studies that demonstrate your track record. A pricing structure that reflects the value you create, not the time you spend. A delivery system. This is where your signature system framework sits, and it includes your templates and tools that ensure consistent quality, and communication rhythms that keep clients informed and engaged. And then finally, your growth system. This is a follow-up process that encourages referrals and testimonials, opportunities for past clients to work with you again, and systems for tracking and improving your results over time. All of these components can be created once and then refined and improved rather than rebuilt from scratch. Here's your action step. Map out your complete client journey from first contact to final delivery. Identify which touch points could be systematized and which generally need customization each time. Step 5. Protect your most valuable assets, your time and mental energy. Here's something important that most people miss. When you systematize, you're not selling out or becoming impersonal. You're not turned into a robot or a cookie cutter service provider. What you are doing is giving yourself something invaluable. Space. Space to think strategically instead of reactively. Space to rest and recharge instead of burning out. Space to focus on quality and innovation instead of just quantity and survival. Because when you're not in constant rebuild mode, you can actually focus on what matters most, getting better results for your clients and building a business that grows with you rather than overwhelming you. And here's the unexpected benefit that nobody talks about. Your clients will feel this shift. They will feel the calm confidence instead of that underlying frantic energy. They experience the clarity instead of the confusion. They benefit from your expertise instead of your exhaustion. Because now you're leading from a place of strength, not scrambling to keep up. Here's your action step. Block out time in your calendar this week specifically for improving one part of your system. Not for doing client work, but for making the client work easier and better. Now, I want us to pause here because I want to address some thoughts that might be coming up in your mind right now. You might be thinking, but my clients expect a completely custom service. Won't they feel like they're getting less value? If I systematize too much, won't my work start feeling generic or impersonal? Isn't this approach only realistic for people with bigger teams or more established businesses? I'm going to challenge these assumptions because they're exactly what kept me stuck for years. First off, custom doesn't mean chaotic. You can absolutely provide a deeply personalized service while using the same strong foundation underneath. In fact, the most valuable services are often the most focused and systematized. Would you rather work with a surgeon who's performed your specific procedure hundreds of times with a proven process, or someone who's customizing the approach as they go? Your clients aren't paying for you to reinvent everything from scratch. They're paying for your expertise, your proven process, and your ability to get them the transformational results efficiently. Structure actually enhances personalization. When you have solid systems in place, you have more mental bandwidth to truly listen to your clients and to respond to their specific needs. You're not using all your energy figuring out what to do next, so you're able to focus on how to do it best for this particular person. Systemization is what allows you to charge premium prices. Clients pay more for confidence and clarity, not for chaos and uncertainty. When you can clearly articulate your process and demonstrate your track record, you can command higher fees because clients trust that you'll deliver. And finally, you don't need a big team to benefit from systems. In fact, systems are even more crucial when it's just you. Every template you create, every process you document, every framework you develop is like hiring an assistant who works for free forever. This isn't about scaling to a huge agency or firm. It's about building a sustainable, profitable business that supports the life you actually want to live. Here's my invitation to you right now. Take a deep breath and honestly ask yourself, where am I still building everything from scratch every single time? What part of my client delivery feels more like guesswork than proven process? What's the one small piece I could systematize this week that would free up time and mental energy next week. If I could wave a magic wand and have one part of my business run smoothly without my constant input, what would that be? You do not need to overhaul your business overnight. In fact, trying to change everything at once is usually what's going to lead to even more overwhelm and even that feeling of giving up. Instead, start small. Choose one area, improve it gradually, build steadily. This is how real sustainable businesses grow, not by rushing towards some imaginary finish line, but by consistently refining and improving what you're already doing. Remember, you're not trying to build the perfect system. You're trying to build a better system than the chaos you're managing right now. If everything I've shared today sounds great in theory, but feels overwhelming in practice, if you're sitting there thinking, I know I need these systems, but I honestly don't know where to start or how to make time for this, that's exactly where I can help. I offer focused strategy sessions where we look at your specific situation, identify the biggest bottlenecks in your current approach, and create a realistic plan to build the systems that will make the biggest difference in your day-to-day reality. This isn't a high-pressure sales call, it's a genuine conversation about where you are, where you want to go, and whether I'm the right person to help you build the bridge between the two. If you'd like to explore working together, there's a link below to book a complimentary session. We'll spend about 30 minutes together getting clear on your next steps, whether that's working with me or implementing what we discuss on your own. Okay, let's bring this all together. Recreating the wheel for every client might feel like the price you pay for quality work, but it's often the biggest obstacle to delivering your best work consistently. When you build clear, repeatable systems, you protect your most valuable resources, your time and mental energy, you deliver more consistent, predictable results for your clients, you create a business that grows with you instead of overwhelming you, and you focus on innovation, improvement instead of survival and reinvention. The goal isn't to work harder or hustle more. The goal is to structure smarter so you can work with more intention and less stress. Your expertise deserves better than being recreated from scratch every single time. Your time deserves better than being spent on work that doesn't compound. And your business deserves systems that make next month easier than this month. Here's what I'd love for you to do right now. If this training was helpful, hit the like button so more business owners can find it. Subscribe for more practical business advice that you can actually implement. Or leave a comment below and tell me what's the first thing you're going to systematize. I read every comment and often reply with specific suggestions. And of course, if you're ready to stop recreating the wheel and start building systems that scale, I'd love to talk to you about how I can help you make that happen. Thank you for investing your time in your business growth. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next training.